Right, so we're diving into Ramit Sethi's I Will Teach You to Be Rich today.
Okay.
And we're really going to try to unpack his strategies for building wealth and designing a rich life, as he calls it.
Right.
What really stood out to me when I was reading this book
Okay.
was how he really emphasizes practical steps and getting started now, even if you don't consider yourself like a financial expert or anything.
Yeah, he does a great job of kind of breaking down those mental barriers to entry, A lot of people feel like, oh, I need to be like, some sort of financial wizard to even get started.
Right.
But he really dispels that myth, I think, really effectively.
Yeah. And, one of the things I thought was so interesting was how he dives into the psychology of money.
Oh, absolutely.
Yeah. He calls them invisible scripts.
Yeah.
These subconscious beliefs we pick up about money.
Right.
That can totally sabotage our financial goals.
Oh, yeah, without a doubt.
Yeah. So what are some of those invisible scripts that he highlights?
Well, one of the big ones is this idea that credit cards are a scam.
Okay.
Which, comes from a good place. I think a lot of people have been burned by credit card debt or seen, family members struggle.
Right.
But that kind of thinking can actually prevent us from using credit cards strategically to build our credit and earn rewards.
Yeah, it's like almost like we're afraid to even consider them.
Exactly, yeah.
As a tool.
Yeah, it's like this knee-jerk reaction like, credit cards are bad, stay away.
Right.
But when used responsibly, they can actually be really beneficial.
Yeah, so how do we kind of like break free from those limiting beliefs, those invisible scripts?
Well, Sethi says awareness is the first step,
Okay.
Once you can identify your own invisible scripts, you can start to challenge them and replace them with more empowering beliefs.
Oh, I like that.
Yeah, it's like rewiring your brain for financial success.
Yeah, so step one is recognizing those thoughts.
Exactly.
And kind of like, where are they coming from?
Yeah, and a lot of times they come from our upbringing, our culture, the messages we were exposed to about money as kids.
Right.
So it's about becoming aware of those influences.
So we recognize those thoughts, and then what comes next?
Action.
Action.
He's a big believer in action over perfection.
Oh, I like that.
Yeah, he calls it the 85% solution.
Okay.
Which basically means get started even if you don't have all the answers.
I love that because I think a lot of people get so caught up in wanting to have the perfect plan.
Oh, absolutely.
Or know everything before they start.
Yeah, analysis paralysis.
Yeah.
He's like, just get going, make some progress.
So refreshing, right?
Yeah, it is.
You don't have to be a financial guru
to
start building wealth.
No.
And that kind of leads into the other thing that I thought was so interesting about this book.
Okay.
Is his emphasis on starting early with investing.
Yes.
Even if it's a small amount. He uses some really compelling examples.
He does.
Of how compound interest can work its magic over time.
It's really powerful.
Yeah, like that whole snowball effect.
Yeah, exactly. The earlier you start, the bigger that snowball gets.
It's like planting a seed and letting it grow.
Yeah. The sooner you plant it, the bigger it can become.
Yeah. And I also love how he challenges that notion that you need to be some kind of like above average investor to succeed.
Right.
He argues that average is actually a great outcome.
It is.
In the world of investing.
Yeah, because the market tends to go up over time.
Right.
So if you're just average, you're still going to do pretty well.
Takes the pressure off, right?
Yeah, totally.
You don't have to be Warren Buffett.
Right.
To build wealth.
Exactly.
So, okay, I want to talk about this idea of conscious spending.
Okay.
It sounds like more than just budgeting, right?
It is. It's about aligning your spending with your values.
Okay.
It's about spending extravagantly on the things that you love.
Okay.
And cutting ruthlessly on the things you don't.
I love that.
It's about creating a system that lets you enjoy your money without guilt.
That sounds very liberating.
It is.
To have permission to spend freely on the things that bring you joy.
Yeah.
But how do you identify those things?
That's a great question.
Like, how do you know?
He suggests a couple of exercises.
Okay.
One is to reflect on your past spending and highlight what truly brought you satisfaction.
Okay.
And another one is to visualize your ideal rich life.
Oh, I like that.
Yeah. What does that look like for you?
Yeah, that's powerful to really think about.
It is.
What a fulfilling life looks like for you.
Yeah.
Not just how much money you have in your bank account.
Right. It's about experiences, relationships, the things that truly matter.
Okay, so how does Sethi suggest we actually organize our finances to achieve that rich life?
He lays out a really clear roadmap. He calls it the ladder of personal finance.
Okay.
It's a 6-step system that takes you through each stage of building a solid financial foundation.
I'm ready to climb. Let's climb this ladder.
All right, let's do it.
What's rung number 1?
Rung number 1 is all about maximizing your employer's 401k match.
Okay.
If your company offers a match, it's essentially free money.
It is?
And Sethi stresses you should absolutely take advantage of it.
So even before you start thinking about paying off debt or anything?
Yeah, he actually puts that first.
Okay.
Which might seem counterintuitive to some people.
He does.
But he makes a really compelling case for why it's so important.
Because it's like a guaranteed return
Exactly.
on your investment.
Yeah, it's like getting an instant 100% return or whatever your match is.
Yeah.
So it's a no-brainer.
Okay, that makes total sense.
Yeah.
Okay, so rung 1 401k match. What's next?
Rung 2 is tackling high-interest debt,
Okay.
particularly credit card debt.
Okay, so that's where those invisible scripts can really come into play.
Yeah, if you're convinced all credit cards are evil,
Right.
you might be missing out on opportunities to use them strategically.
Yeah.
So he really encourages readers to challenge those beliefs and master the art of using credit cards to their advantage.
Okay, so what are some of his tips for using credit cards wisely?
Well, he actually lays out what he calls his 6 commandments of credit cards.
Okay, I love it. Let's hear it.
All right, commandment number 1.
Okay.
Pay your balance in full
Okay.
and on time.
On time?
Every single month.
Okay. Avoid those interest charges.
Yes.
Which can really add up.
Oh, absolutely, yeah. That's how they get you.
Right.
With those high interest rates.
That's so easy to slip up on, though.
It is.
Especially when life gets busy.
Yeah, that's why he's a big advocate for automating your payments.
Yeah.
Set it up once, and you never have to worry about missing a deadline.
Yeah.
Take the human error out of the equation.
I like that. I like that. So automation.
Automation is key. A big theme in the book.
All right, commandment number 2.
Always try to get fees waived.
Okay.
Sethi's a big believer in negotiating with credit card companies.
Okay.
He provides scripts and strategies for getting those pesky annual fees waived.
I like that.
Yeah, and even lowering your interest rates.
Okay, so it's being proactive
Yes.
and advocating for yourself.
Exactly.
I like his style.
Yeah, he doesn't want you to just be a passive consumer.
Right.
He wants you to take control.
Okay, what's commandment number 3?
Negotiate a lower APR.
Okay.
Even a small reduction in your interest rate can save you a lot of money
Yeah,
over time.
especially if you're carrying a balance.
Right, exactly.
Okay, so pick up the phone,
Yeah,
ask her a better deal.
absolutely. Don't be afraid to ask.
What's commandment number 4?
Keep your main cards for a long time.
All right.
Keep them active,
Okay.
but keep them simple.
Okay, so don't fall for
Yeah.
all the like flashy offers.
Great. Resist those tempting sign-up bonuses.
Okay.
Focus on building a long and solid credit history.
Okay, so longevity is key.
It is.
All right, commandment number 5.
If you're debt-free, get more credit.
Really?
Yeah, this one might seem counterintuitive,
It does.
but increasing your available credit can actually lower your credit utilization ratio, which is a factor in your credit score.
So it's not just about how much debt you have,
Right.
but also about your total credit limit.
Exactly.
Okay, interesting. All right, and finally, commandment number 6.
Use your credit card's secret perks.
Okay.
Many credit cards offer rewards programs,
Mm-hmm.
travel insurance, other benefits that can save you money
Okay.
or enhance your life.
All right, so it's like you're getting paid
Yeah.
to use your credit card.
Exactly.
Okay, I like it.
So he encourages you to take full advantage of those perks.
Okay, but what about people who are already struggling with credit card debt?
Right.
What does he suggest they do?
He offers a 5-step plan
Okay.
for eliminating credit card debt.
Yep.
First, figure out exactly how much you owe.
Okay, so face the music.
Yeah, you can't solve a problem you don't understand.
Okay.
So gather all your statements, add it all up,
Yep.
and see where you stand.
Scary, but necessary.
It is
But
prioritize which debts to pay off first. He suggests focusing on the debts with the highest interest rates.
okay, so like attack the biggest debt monsters first.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Negotiate with creditors.
Okay.
You'd be surprised how often you can get a lower interest rate just by asking.
Yeah, so pick up the phone, have that conversation.
It could save you a lot of money.
Okay, what else?
Look for ways to increase your income,
Okay.
to put toward debt repayment, even if it's just a side hustle or selling unused items,
Yeah.
anything you can do to bring in extra cash.
So it's a two-pronged approach, right?
Yeah.
Reduce your expenses and increase your income.
Exactly.
Okay, so we've tackled the first 2 rungs of the ladder,
Okay.
maximizing that 401k match
Mm-hmm.
and getting rid of high-interest debt.
Yep.
What's next on our climb to financial freedom?
Rung 3 is opening a Roth IRA
Okay.
and contributing as much as possible.
Okay, give us a quick Roth IRA rundown.
Okay, so a Roth IRA is a retirement account
Okay.
where your investments grow tax-free.
Okay.
This means when you retire and start withdrawing that money, you won't owe any taxes on those earnings.
So it's like a tax shelter
Exactly.
for retirement.
Yeah.
Okay.
And the earlier you start, the better, because that money has more time to grow tax-free.
Makes sense. Okay. Roth IRA. It is rung number 4. What is it?
If you've maxed out your Roth IRA contributions,
Mm-hmm.
Sethi recommends going back to your 401k and contributing as much as you can.
So back to the 401k. Got it.
Yeah.
Rung number 5.
Explore a health savings account.
An HSA.
An HSA.
Now, those are usually for medical expenses, right?
They are.
How does that fit into?
Okay, so this is where it gets interesting.
Okay.
Sethi highlights a lesser-known feature of HSAs.
Okay.
They can also function as investment accounts.
Really?
With some pretty incredible tax advantages.
So you can invest your HSA funds?
You can!
I did not know that.
Yeah, a lot of people overlook this aspect of HSAs.
Right.
But they can be really powerful for building wealth.
So what makes them so special from a tax perspective?
You get a triple tax advantage.
Okay.
Contributions are tax deductible.
Mm-hmm.
Your investments grow tax-free.
Right.
And withdrawals for qualified medical expenses are also tax-free.
Okay, so you're saving on taxes on 3 different levels.
3 different levels.
Okay, I need to research this further.
Yeah, HSAs are definitely worth looking into, especially if you're eligible for one.
So what's the final run?
Rung 6 is for those who've climbed the first 5 rungs and still have money left over to invest.
They're doing pretty well.
Yeah, they're doing great.
Okay.
At this point, Sethi suggests opening a regular non-retirement investment account.
Okay, so once you've taken care of all those other financial priorities, then you can start investing for other goals, like buying a house or starting a business.
Exactly. It's a systematic approach to building a solid financial foundation.
I like it.
Step by step.
Okay, so we've got our finances in order. We're climbing that ladder. But how do we actually make sure we're spending our money wisely and still enjoying life?
That's where Sethi's concept of a conscious spending plan comes in.
Okay.
It's all about allocating your money thoughtfully across 4 key areas: fixed costs, investments, savings goals, and guilt-free spending money.
All right, I love the sound of guilt-free spending money.
Yeah.
But how do you make sure it's actually aligned with your values and it doesn't derail your financial goals?
Well, he recommends using what's called the 80-20 principle to analyze your spending.
Okay.
So identify the 20% of your expenditures that bring you 80% of your happiness.
Okay.
Focus on those areas and cut mercilessly on the things that don't truly matter to you.
Okay, so it's like being mindful with your money and where it's going.
Exactly.
And intentional
spending.
With every dollar. But how do you actually put that into practice?
Yeah, it can be a little abstract.
Yeah.
So he suggests using a tool called the envelope system.
Okay, I've heard of this.
Have you?
Yeah, you allocate a certain amount of cash to each spending category.
Yeah.
You put it in an envelope.
Yep.
When the cash is gone, you're done.
Good.
Spending in that category for the month.
Exactly. It's a very visual and tangible way to track your spending.
Yeah, super helpful for people who tend to overspend.
Right.
Okay, let's dive into his approach to investing specifically.
Okay.
His philosophy on picking investments.
Yeah.
He seems to favor a very simple, straightforward approach.
He does. He's a big proponent of low-cost index funds and target date funds.
Okay. I've heard a lot about index funds. You just give us a quick rundown?
Yeah. So an index fund is a type of mutual fund that tracks a specific market index, like the S&P 500. Instead of trying to pick individual stocks, you're essentially buying a basket of stocks that reflects the overall market.
So it's like you're investing in the entire market.
Exactly.
With one purchase.
Yeah.
Okay, what about target date funds?
Target date funds are even simpler. They're designed for retirement investing. And they automatically adjust your asset allocation based on your target retirement date.
Oh, interesting.
Yeah. So as you get closer to retirement, the fund becomes more conservative.
Okay, so it's like a set it and forget it approach.
Exactly.
Okay.
Sethi likes them because they're low cost, they're diversified, and they take the guesswork out of asset allocation.
All right. Well, that was a great overview of index funds and target date funds.
Yeah.
But what about the other aspects of investing?
Sure.
Like asset allocation,
Okay.
diversification. Rebalancing those can be kind of confusing.
It can be.
For people who are new to investing.
Right.
How does Sethi kind of break those down?
Well, he does it in a very clear and concise way.
Okay.
Asset allocation is about how you divide your investments between different asset classes. Okay.
Mainly stocks and bonds.
Okay.
Stocks offer higher growth potential, but they come with more risk.
Okay.
Bonds are more stable, but they offer lower returns.
Okay, so it's that balance between risk and reward.
Exactly.
Wow.
Finding the right mix for you.
Based on your individual circumstances.
Yeah, exactly.
Okay, and then diversification, you said?
Diversification is about spreading your investments across a variety of different assets to reduce your overall risk.
So don't put all your eggs in one basket.
Exactly.
Okay, and then what about rebalancing?
Rebalancing is the process of adjusting your portfolio periodically to maintain your desired asset allocation. As your investments perform differently, your asset allocation can drift. So rebalancing brings your portfolio back to your target allocation.
So it's about kind of like checking in, making sure things are still on track.
Exactly.
Right.
Staying disciplined.
All right. Does Sethi offer any tips?
He does. For rebalancing.
He does. He has some great advice on how to rebalance effectively.
Okay. And what about like just kind of like a simple rule of thumb?
Oh, yeah. He shares a really useful one called the Rule of 72.
The Rule of 72.
Oh.
Okay. I'm intrigued.
Okay. So the Rule of 72 is a way to calculate how long it will take to double your money.
Okay.
You divide the number 72 by your expected annual rate of return.
Okay.
And the result is the approximate number of years it'll take for your investment to double.
Okay.
So, for example, if you expect an annual return of 7%, it would take about 10 years for your money to double.
Oh, wow. That's so helpful.
It is.
For like visualizing that compound growth.
Exactly.
Okay. We've covered index funds, target date funds, asset allocation, diversification, rebalancing.
Yeah.
Rule of 72, that's a lot.
To digest.
But he doesn't stop there.
He doesn't.
No, he also delves into some more specialized topics like cryptocurrency.
Ooh, okay.
And home buying.
Okay, I'm curious to hear his take on those.
Yeah, cryptocurrency can be a bit of a Wild West.
He can be.
What does he have to say about that?
He advises caution, especially for beginners.
Okay.
He stresses the importance of having a solid financial foundation before venturing into this more volatile asset class.
So build that ladder first.
Yeah.
And then maybe consider dipping your toes in.
Yeah. Get the basics down first.
Okay. What about home buying?
Okay. So for home buying, he provides a really straightforward rule of thumb for determining how much house you can afford.
All right, I'm listening.
He suggests that the total price of the house shouldn't exceed 3 times your gross annual income.
Okay, so that's a good guideline to keep in mind.
It is.
To avoid overstretching yourself.
Exactly.
Okay.
He also offers some really interesting and kind of unconventional advice on how to negotiate with real estate agents and lenders to get the best possible deal.
I like it. Okay, so we've covered a lot of ground today. Invisible scripts, conscious spending, the ladder of personal finance, investing strategies.
Yeah.
But before we wrap up this part of our deep dive, I want to touch on one more key aspect of Sethi's philosophy that stood out to me.
Okay.
And that is automation.
Yes.
He seems to be a huge advocate.
He is.
For automating your finances.
As much as possible.
Why is that?
Well, he believes that automating your savings and investments takes the guesswork and willpower out of the equation.
Okay.
It ensures that you're consistently building wealth.
Yeah.
Without having to think about it every day.
It's like you're setting your finances on autopilot.
Exactly.
They're just kind of like running in the background.
Yeah.
While you focus on other things. Seems so simple.
It is.
But so powerful.
It is.
So how do you actually do that?
Well, most banks and investment platforms allow you to set up automatic transfers from your checking account to your savings and investment account.
Okay, so it's like you're literally paying yourself first.
Exactly.
Before you even have a chance to spend the money.
Yes.
It's already working for you.
It is.
All right, automation is definitely at the top of my to-do list now.
Good.
But before we get too carried away automating everything, I want to bring up one last point from the book that resonated with me.
Right.
Sethi talks about focusing on the big wins.
He does.
Right. Instead of sweating every tiny detail of your finances, it's more effective to focus on those few key areas that will have the biggest impact. So what are some of those big wins that we should be focusing on?
Well, we already talked about automating your savings and investments. But another big win is negotiating your salary.
That's so true.
Yeah.
Even a small increase in your salary can make a huge difference.
Absolutely.
Over time.
Over time.
Okay. What else?
And finding a job you love.
Okay.
That's a big win.
Yeah.
Not only will it be more fulfilling, but it can also lead to higher earning potential and better career opportunities.
Yeah, so it's not just about optimizing our spending.
Right.
But it's also about optimizing our income and our careers.
Exactly.
Okay.
It's about taking a holistic view of our finances and aligning them with our values, our goals, and our passions.
I love that.
Yeah.
That's a fantastic point to end on.
Okay.
For part 1 of our deep dives.
Right.
We've covered a lot of ground.
We have.
But there's so much more to explore.
Yeah.
In I Will Teach You to Be Rich.
Absolutely.
So join us in part 2.
All right.
Where we'll continue unpacking Sethi's strategies.
Sounds good.
For building wealth and creating that rich life.
I'm looking forward to it. Welcome back to our deep dive into I Will Teach You to Be Rich.
Okay.
You know, one of the things that really struck me about Sethi's approach is how he flips the script on personal finance. It's not about deprivation, it's about empowerment.
Yeah, I like that.
Yeah, he really emphasizes, aligning your money with your values and creating a life you enjoy, what he calls a rich life.
Right, and not just like a life with a lot of money, but a life that's rich with experiences and things that you love.
Yeah, it's about abundance, not scarcity.
Yeah, and I remember we talked about his concept of conscious spending.
Right.
Like spending extravagantly on what matters to you and cutting ruthlessly on things that don't. But he actually takes it a step further and talks about developing...
He does?
Like spending frameworks.
Spending frameworks.
Yeah. To guide your decisions.
Yeah.
What are those?
Think of them as personalized rules of thumb.
Oh, okay.
He gives the example of his own rule for buying books.
Okay.
Will I learn more from buying this book or getting it from the library?
Oh, okay. So it's like being more intentional.
Intentional, yeah.
About your spending. And not just like impulsively buying things, but pausing to consider, does this really align with my values and goals?
Exactly. And he also talks about the opportunity cost,
Right.
Every time you spend money on something,
Yeah.
you're giving up the opportunity to spend that money on something else.
Right.
So that daily latte might be costing you a future vacation.
Okay.
Or a bigger contribution to your investment account.
It's a good reminder to think about.
It is.
The trade-offs we make with every purchase.
Absolutely.
Okay, let's shift gears for a moment.
Okay.
And talk about credit scores.
Right.
These 3-digit numbers can feel so mysterious.
They can be.
And intimidating.
Yeah, a lot of people don't understand how they work.
Yeah, so Sethi dedicates a whole section of the book to demystifying credit scores.
He does.
Explaining how they work and why they matter.
Especially when it comes to getting approved for loans and securing favorable interest rates.
Yeah, so a good credit score can really save you a lot of money.
Oh, absolutely.
In the long run.
Yeah, a huge impact.
So what are some of his top tips for building and maintaining good credit?
Well, he emphasizes the basics. Pay your bills on time every time.
Okay, classic advice.
Yeah, it's simple, but it's so important.
But sometimes life gets hectic.
It does.
And the bills slip through the cracks.
Yeah, that's why he's such a big advocate for automation.
Oh, okay.
Set up automatic payments for your bills.
Okay.
So you never miss a deadline.
There's that automation theme again.
Right.
It's like he wants to put our financial lives on autopilot.
He does. He wants to make it as easy as possible.
Okay, what else?
Keep your credit utilization low.
Okay. Credit utilization, now what is that exactly?
So that's the amount of credit you're using compared to your total credit limit.
Okay, so if I have a credit card with a $10,000 limit and I'm carrying a $3,000 balance, my credit utilization would be 30%.
Exactly.
Okay, and what's the ideal range for like a healthy credit score?
He recommends keeping it below 30%.
Below 30%?
A lower credit utilization signals to lenders.
Okay. That you're managing your credit responsibly.
So it's not just about paying your bills on time.
Right.
It's about how much of your available credit you're actually using.
Exactly.
Okay, got it. What other credit boosting tips does he offer?
Avoid opening too many new credit accounts in a short period of time. Okay. That can be a red flag for lenders.
Okay, so slow and steady wins the credit race.
Yeah, exactly.
What else?
Regularly check your credit report for errors or discrepancies.
Okay.
You can actually get a free copy of your credit report from each of the 3 major credit bureaus.
Okay.
Equifax, Experian, and TransUnion once a year.
So it's like checking your financial report card.
Exactly. Make sure everything is accurate.
I like that. Okay, so we've talked about credit scores. We've talked about conscious spending.
Yes.
Those spending frameworks.
Right.
What other nuggets of financial wisdom does Sethi offer?
Well, he dives deep into investing,
okay,
which we touched on earlier.
Right.
But he goes beyond just the basics.
And offers some really insightful advice for building long-term wealth.
Okay, well, let's revisit investing then.
Okay.
And explore some of his key principles.
All right, so one of the big ones is starting early.
Okay.
Remember the power of compound interest?
Yes.
The earlier you start investing, the more time your money has to grow exponentially.
Like planting a tree, right?
Exactly. The sooner you plant it, the taller and stronger it will become.
What else?
Diversification.
Diversification.
Spread your investments across different asset classes.
Okay.
Like stocks, bonds, real estate.
Yeah.
Don't put all your eggs in one basket.
Right, because if one investment takes a hit,
all right,
the others can help to cushion the blow.
Exactly.
Okay. What else?
Invest for the long term.
Okay.
Avoid trying to time the market
or
chase those short-term gains.
Yeah.
Just stay the course,
Wow.
even when things get volatile.
So patience is a virtue.
It is.
When it comes to investing.
Absolutely.
What other investing gems does Sethi offer?
Well, he offers specific guidance on choosing investments.
Okay.
Emphasizing index funds and target date funds, which we talked about earlier.
Right.
Low-cost, diversified tend to perform well over time.
Yeah, they seem to be his go-to investments.
They are.
For building wealth simply and effectively.
Yeah, he likes to keep things simple.
Okay. But investing can feel so overwhelming.
It can be.
Especially for beginners.
Yeah.
What does he suggest for people who are just starting out?
He says you don't need to be a financial expert to invest successfully.
Really?
Yeah, in fact, he argues that overthinking it can be a major obstacle.
So just get started, even if you're not 100% sure what you're doing.
Exactly. Start small, invest consistently.
Okay.
Let compound interest do its work over time.
Okay.
And he also recommends seeking guidance from a financial advisor if you need personalized advice.
Okay.
Or feel overwhelmed.
Okay, so start small. Stay consistent. Don't be afraid to ask for help.
Exactly.
What other insights does he offer on investing?
Well, he emphasizes the importance of staying informed and educated about personal finance.
So it's an ongoing process.
It is.
Of learning and growth.
Yeah, he encourages people to read books, articles, blogs about personal finance.
Okay.
Attend workshops, stay up to date on current financial trends.
Yeah, knowledge is power.
It is.
When it comes to managing your money,
absolutely.
The more you understand,
yeah,
the better decisions you can make.
The better decisions you can make, exactly.
And one of my favorite things about Sethi's approach is that he emphasizes that personal finance is personal.
It is.
What works for one person might not work for another.
Exactly.
It's about finding what resonates with you.
Yeah.
And creating a system that fits your unique needs and goals.
It's about customization.
Yeah, it takes the pressure off of trying to follow someone else's exact formula.
Totally.
For success.
Yeah.
It's like you have permission to create a financial plan that reflects your own values, priorities, lifestyle.
Exactly. It's about empowerment and taking control of your financial future.
I like that. Okay, now I know we've covered a lot in this episode.
Yeah.
But there's one more section of the book I want to kind of delve into.
Okay.
Sethi talks about creating systems.
He does.
For success and building a rich life that goes beyond just finances.
Yes.
So what kind of systems is he talking about?
Well, one of his most powerful insights is that our environments shape our behavior.
Okay.
So if you want to change your financial habits, you need to change your environment.
So it's not just about willpower. It's about setting up systems and structures.
Structures and systems.
That support your goals.
Exactly.
Give me some examples.
Okay, well, one simple example is automating your savings.
Okay.
Instead of relying on willpower to transfer money to your savings account each month, set up an automatic transfer.
Okay.
So it happens automatically.
We talked about that earlier. It's like paying yourself first.
Exactly.
Okay. What other systems does he recommend?
He encourages readers to unsubscribe from tempting email lists.
Okay.
And unfollow social media accounts that trigger impulsive spending.
Oh, that's a good idea.
Yeah. It's about creating a financial safe space for yourself where you're not constantly bombarded with messages that tempt you to spend money you don't have.
Okay.
And he also talks about the importance of surrounding yourself with people who support your financial goals.
Okay, so find your tribe.
Yeah, find your tribe.
Of financially savvy friends.
Exactly.
Who inspire you to save and invest and build wealth together.
Yeah, accountability is huge.
Yeah. And Sethi goes beyond just finances.
He does.
And talks about creating systems for other areas of your life.
Yeah.
Like your health, your relationships, your career.
Exactly.
It's like applying the principles of personal finance to all aspects of your life.
It's about creating a holistic, rich life.
Yeah, so it's not just about becoming rich.
Right.
It's about creating a rich and fulfilling life.
Exactly. And he offers some really insightful tips for setting goals.
Okay.
Overcoming procrastination building habits that support your overall well-being.
Okay, so we've talked about invisible scripts, conscious spending, the ladder of personal finance, investing strategies, credit scores, and now systems for success.
Systems for success.
That's a lot.
It is a lot, but he packs so much valuable information into this book.
Yeah, we've only scratched the surface.
Yeah.
But don't worry, we'll be back for part 3 of our deep dive,
Right.
where we'll continue exploring Sethi's strategies
Sounds good.
for creating a rich life you love.
Looking forward to it.
All right, so welcome back to the final part of our deep dive into Ramit Sethi's I Will Teach You to Be Rich.
Okay.
We've covered so much ground already.
We have.
From understanding those invisible money scripts to building a solid financial foundation.
Yeah.
And setting up systems for success.
Right. Those systems are key.
They really are.
Yeah.
But you know, one of the things that keeps coming back to me is Sethi's focus on creating a rich life that goes beyond just dollars and cents.
Absolutely. It's not just about the money. It's about the life you create with it.
Right. It's about designing a life you truly enjoy. A life that reflects your values and your priorities.
Exactly.
And he reminds us that a rich life looks different for everyone.
It does. There's no one-size-fits-all definition.
Right. It's not about keeping up with the Joneses.
No.
Or some external standard of success.
Right. It's about defining what truly matters to you.
Yeah.
And using your money to support those things.
I love that it's about crafting a life.
Yeah.
That feels rich and fulfilling on your own terms.
On your own terms, exactly.
But I think a lot of people get stuck in that scarcity mindset, you know?
Oh, yeah.
Feeling like there's never enough money to go around.
Right. That feeling of lack.
Yeah. How does Sethi address that?
He tackles it head on. You know, he says there's a limit to how much you can cut, but no limit to how much you can earn.
Ooh, that's a powerful way to think about it.
It shifts the focus.
Yeah.
From scarcity to abundance.
So instead of just focusing on frugality, he's encouraging us to explore ways to increase our income.
Exactly. He argues that focusing on earning more opens up more possibilities for designing your rich life. It gives you greater flexibility and freedom to pursue the things that matter most to you.
So it's not just about being thrifty.
Right.
It's about being proactive.
Yeah.
And expanding your earning potential.
Exactly.
So what are some of those strategies that he recommends for boosting your income?
Well, he covers a wide range of options, you know, from negotiating a raise at your current job to starting a side hustle, or even launching your own business.
Yeah, so there's a strategy for every personality and risk tolerance.
Absolutely. And he even provides specific scripts and templates for negotiating a raise.
Yeah, I thought those were so helpful.
Yeah, they're really useful.
It takes the fear and guesswork out of that conversation.
Yeah, he gives you the tools and the confidence to advocate for yourself.
I love that.
Yeah.
He also emphasizes the importance of developing valuable skills.
Oh, absolutely.
Right.
Skills are your most valuable asset.
And building a strong professional network.
Yes. Your network is your net worth.
Right, both of which can open doors to higher paying opportunities.
Exactly.
So it's about investing in yourself and your future earning potential.
It's the best investment you can make.
I love how Sethi's approach is so empowering.
Yeah.
You know?
Yeah.
He gives you these concrete steps you can take to improve your financial situation.
He does. He's all about action.
And he reminds us that even small actions taken consistently can lead to significant results.
Huge results over time.
Over time, that brings us back to one of those core concepts we discussed earlier.
Yeah.
Automation.
Automation, yes.
Why is Sethi such a big advocate for automating your finances?
Because it takes the effort and willpower out of the equation, you know?
Yeah.
You set it up once and it runs in the background, helping you achieve your financial goals without having to think about it every day.
It's like putting your finances on autopilot.
Exactly.
And letting them soar while you focus on other things.
You can focus on the things you enjoy.
And it's not just about automating savings and investments, right?
No, he recommends automating bill payments.
Okay.
Debt repayment, even charitable donations.
Wow. So it's like creating a system that works for you even when you're not actively managing it.
Exactly. It frees up your time and mental energy to focus on the things that truly matter.
Okay. So we've covered a lot of ground in this deep dive.
Yeah.
From invisible scripts to conscious spending, the ladder of personal finance, investing strategies, credit scores, systems for success.
Yeah.
Creating a rich life.
It's been quite a journey.
It has been. But before we wrap up,
Okay.
I want to leave our listeners with one final thought.
Right.
From the book that really stuck with me.
Okay.
Sethi writes, sometimes the most advanced thing you can do is the basics consistently.
Oh, that's a good one.
What do you think he means by that?
I think he's emphasizing that building wealth isn't about chasing the latest get-rich-quick scheme or trying to outsmart the market. It's about consistently applying those fundamental principles of personal finance that we've been discussing.
Yeah.
Saving diligently.
Yeah.
Investing wisely, managing debt responsibly.
It's about those simple but powerful habits.
Yes.
Done consistently over time.
Yeah.
That create those lasting results.
Exactly. There's no magic bullet.
No.
Or shortcut to financial success.
It's about building those good habits, staying disciplined, and playing the long game.
Playing the long game, exactly.
So if you're feeling overwhelmed by all the financial advice out there, just remember Sethi's words.
Okay.
Focus on the basics consistently.
That's great advice.
It really is.
For any area of life.
For any area of life.
Not just finances.
Well, that concludes our deep dive into I Will Teach You to Be Rich.
It's been a pleasure.
It has been.
Diving deep with you.
We hope you found it informative and inspiring.
I hope so too.
Remember, building wealth is a marathon.
Yeah.
Not a sprint.
Pace yourself.
Start small, stay consistent, and enjoy the journey.
Enjoy the journey, absolutely.
And if you're looking for more personalized guidance on your financial journey, don't hesitate to reach out to a qualified financial advisor.
That's always a good idea.
All right, until next time.
Okay.
Keep learning.
Yes.
And keep diving deep.
Sounds good.